What's up, world? This is D Busy 007, and I'm here today to talk about the first date. This is Dating 101. I'm going to talk about the first date, um, just to go over some basic stuff that you need to know that I think are important. Um, so mainly keep this in mind. The first date is mainly it's kind of like a job interview. Your main goal is to see if she's the right fit for you. Um, this is important because a lot of guys go out on their first date thinking that um, it's their job to make sure that they can get the girl. It's not about getting the girl. It's about deciding whether or not that girl's the right one for you. You do this by preparing, um, I would say preparing a couple of questions that you want to know. And her answers to these questions are not what's important. It's the energy that you get from her that's important while you're talking to her. If I'm having a conversation with her, does things she say interest me? Does things she say evoke a feeling, happiness, excitement, anything about her that would make me want to continue having a conversation or continue having, or even decide to be in a relationship with her later on? Some questions I ask are just basic general questions. Oh, where are you from? What do you do? And some people will say, don't ask these questions, but I would say, do it. You want to know. You want to know where she's from. You want to know, okay, so you're from New York. Okay, what is it about New York, that you like? Why are you here? Why are you here in D.C.? Or why are you here wherever? I don't know. It's just to get her talking mainly, right? So there's some basic general questions that you ask to get her talking, just to get an idea about her. You may ask, another important question you want to ask is like, what does she do for fun? Because this question, you're going to use this question to decide what you're going to do on the follow-up date, right? So the first date is an important thing to know. First date is mainly to get information. Get information about her and get information about whether or not you like her. Because if you like her, there'll be another date. If you don't like her, there won't be another date. And so you want to find out what she does for fun. Because if possible, if it's not too outrageous, you may want to do that at the second date because you know offhand that she's going to have fun. No doubt, because that's what she does for fun, right? Keep that in mind. I'm going to digress a little bit. So the first date is important because, like I said, it's kind of like an interview. It's going to give you an idea of who she is and whether or not you're interested in her. A lot of guys treat this first date. Oh, here's important. A lot of guys treat this first date like it's a big deal, and it is because this is your first chance to actually sit down with this girl. This is assuming that you already you met her someplace, maybe at a bar or online or something. You got her number. You set up a date. I'll talk about that whole aspect later on. But right now, you're in the first date. Where was I going with that? So we talked about it being a job interview for the most part. You want to get to know her. You want to see if she's someone that you're interested in. A lot of guys treat this first date like it's the be-all, end-all. And I guess to a certain degree it is. But you kind of want to keep it pretty casual. And when I say that, what I mean is don't blow your money on the first date. Don't blow all the money that you have on date number one. Date number one is just basically a little meet and greet. Get an idea of who she is. She gets an idea of who you are. Decide if you want to go on a second date. So what I do now, I'm sorry, let me back up. What I used to do, the mistake I used to make is the first date, I would go all out. Get dressed up, spend tons of money on some nice fancy restaurant trying to impress the girl. And then in the end, what it turns out to be is I didn't like the girl. So I just wasted $60. I just wasted $100, $200 on dinner trying to impress this girl. And I don't even like her. I don't even like her. So now what I do is I might take her to a coffee shop. I might take her to someplace small, very informal. She doesn't have to get dressed up. You can do it during your lunchtime. It could be like noon or whatever. And you just meet up a quick 20, 30 minutes. And that's all you're going to do. You just want to, maybe I would spend money on coffee, or something sweet or something like that, or tea or whatever. But it's a big difference between spending $1 or $2 and spending $100, And if I don't like the girl, I didn't waste much. I didn't waste too much at all. If I do like the girl, I still didn't waste much, but I'm going to spend more money the next time if that's what I choose to do. Another thing to know about the first date that's important is try to have the first date in a location that's convenient for you. A lot of guys go way out of the way to meet up with a girl on the first date, and it's a waste of time because I would say maybe 7 out of 10 times the girl's not going to show up on the first date anyway. So if she lives out in Timbuktu somewhere, and you decide, you know what, this date's going to happen. Let me get ready. I don't care where she lives. I just want to, go to that place. And you go and you drive an hour out of the way, and she texts you or she calls you and says, "I'm sorry, I can't make it," which they will do. You're a little ass out on that, in that. So I would say, like I said, find some place that's convenient for you, and that's not too far out of the way. Be willing to stretch a little bit, go out some distance, but not too far. Just got to put in some effort too, because you're just as important. Which is important to know. You're just as important as she is. So I may, and in some situations, I've actually scheduled 2 dates at the same time because you don't know. Maybe one won't show up, and it's always at a location that's convenient for me. So that's important. That's important. I think that's about it for right now. These are some important things for the first date. If you have any questions about it, just let me know. And if you like my channel, just subscribe to it, and we'll go from there. Peace.